Welcome to another episode of Ally Paranormal's Investigation Files, a look into local Michigan hauntings. We're reviewing a case from our files. There is a home in Auburn Hills where a family believes that it is under attack by a dark force. The client claims that their young niece can see a dark man who scares her. The family claims that he is violent, as objects have been thrown and doors have been slammed. The client feels that the dark figure is demonic in nature and asks Ally Paranormal to find out what it wants.
Well, you would hear noises, things move, and just like, little things, but, I just got used to it. But when it started affecting her, she'd come running out of the room scared, saying the man's scaring her. That's when we got concerned about it.
She was very detailed on what he looked like.
Very detailed. And continually, we thought the same, look. She's like, there he is. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We're watching TV in the living room. And she's like, the man's hiding behind the couch. And it scared me to death. And then Holly went online and found you guys. But there's a lot of activities like in that hallway.
Yeah.
A lot. Like we've seen the shadow people. My sister's seen a full apparition of a little girl. A lot of activities in this hallway towards my sister's room. And her bedroom. Real active.
Chairs moving.
Oh, yes, I said that.
Faucets going on and off by themselves, lights blowing out.
Oh, we had
Cold
to buy.
spots.
We got to buy light bulbs all the time. They go out like.
Smell of like a raunchy garbage.
All of a sudden.
And then it
Cold
goes away.
spots. One time it got real windy and we
Pounding, knocking on the walls. Doorknobs moving. I hear a knocking on the walls actually.
When we were taking the tour, our first night, when we walked in towards Holly's bedroom, I had a sharp pain hit me in the side of the head. It hit me pretty quick, and I didn't feel sick before that, and it didn't stop until I walked away from that part of the house. And usually I don't feel that way, but that time it kind of made me worried about what might have been in the house.
Hearing someone in the hallway.
Some footsteps, yeah.
Yeah.
A few of them here and there.
Yeah. And it was me, Tom, and Jim, and we were in the little girl's room, and I sat on one of the twin beds closest to the door, and as we were asking questions, I kept hearing somebody, like they were right over my shoulder, and I kept hearing like shuffling movement, like somebody had like kind of bumped against the wall or whatever. I kept looking, and I kept expecting to see someone standing there, so I don't know. It just kept drawing my attention to the hallway, and I couldn't ignore it. Our first investigation at Auburn Hills, that last EVP session that you had with Holly, what happened?
We were sitting in the room, and Holly started to feel kind of weirded out. And we were sitting on the bed facing her restroom, where she said she feels a lot of activity at night when she's in there with her husband, Jim. And all of a sudden, she says that she sees something in her restroom. And for a moment, I thought that I saw the same thing she was looking at. And come to find out, I was actually looking at the outside window, and I thought it was a mirror, but it was actually a window to outside. So, and I don't know. So.
I was sitting on the bed directly in front of the bathroom doorway. So I was looking straight all the way through to the bathroom. And I also saw, about pretty much the same time, something looked like it moved or crossed through, and, you know, just some kind of shadow or something. And that's when Holly started to get freaked out, majorly freaked out. She was about ready to go running out of the room. She was so freaked out.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of freaked us out a little bit, because we were like, okay, we'll get up and go, you know, make you feel better to get out of here and go.
And that ended our session for the night.
Our investigation had come to a dead stop. We decided to gather our equipment and head home and give the family a chance to calm down. Unfortunately, our audio evidence was contaminated due to outside interference. So we returned for a second investigation in hopes of finding answers. It took place in the colder months, giving us a whole new level of difficulty.
I was outside at first, and we were hooking up the equipment, like cameras and stuff, and seen her kind of talking out at something out the door. And then I went back in there, and then went back in the house. We put some more wires up for the cameras, and then she was still, you know, over by the door talking. And then she kind of walked in and said she seen something. And as soon as she said that, I was walking out the door, and I smelled, I don't know, couldn't describe it.
When Tom and I were in the master bedroom, we used our light up thermometer that changes color to match the temperature change. We had it change red when we hit the laundry basket, and I had to ask Holly if she had done that laundry recently, and she said she had done it a couple hours before we had got there. So I don't know why it was still registering hot compared to the rest of the room. It's there.
Hey, whoever was here
Use-
last time, could you make that,
Bring
pull
the-
flashlight off that paper?
Run the
thing?
EMF on her. Let's see. I want to document this. Huh. Nothing there.
You
But
want
it,
these
for
pictures
some
up.
reason-
It's still weird. I
Look
just
at-
taking pictures. I'm gonna do some more.
Look, it's changing. That's weird.
Why ain't the flash working? I'm on flash, am I?
I don't know. I'm documenting that it keeps changing. See? It keeps changing from hot to cold. Temperature
cooler.
is jumping all over the
Now
place.
it's working now. It's weird. Try sports again.
Temperature is jumping. Look at how that's jumping. For some reason it's 66. And it's constant. It's almost hitting 70 degrees.
Yeah.
I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I didn't think clothes by themselves
Here, night snapshot, right chest.
generated
Whoops.
heat. Oh, look, there it went again. And then from there, I remember there was a cold spot above the bed when we were in there.
Oh yeah, where that poster was and everything.
Right, and that happened all at the same time, and that heat signature from the clothing didn't dissipate at all until almost towards the end of the night or end of our session. I mean, then it started to go back down and start going green. That was weird because I actually put my hand in it and didn't feel warm, and after that, the temperature went away.
Okay, so the first time we met the couple, and when me and Tom went back to reveal with them, you know, they're friendly, they're nice. We sat there 2 or 3 hours just talking with them, not even just about paranormal stuff, you know, about everything. And they're nice people. He's a nice guy. And then all of a sudden, this night that we come, it wasn't unexpected. It might have been unexpected to him, but everybody else I think knew. And he wasn't feeling well, but there was just something different about him. It was just weird, something different. He ended up, he was getting a cold, so he ended up sleeping out in his truck while we were investigating, so he wouldn't bother us, and we'd have the house alone. Yeah. And then,
while we were sitting outside, and our other teammates were inside, Martin and Tom, I was looking at Jim's truck, and I noticed a shadow move in front of the truck, and I was the only one that seen it because I immediately was like, did anybody see that? And nobody saw it. And then afterwards, Jim got this really bad attitude, and he was like, I can't quite remember the words he said, but I know he yelled out of the truck, and it just didn't seem like him because of, you know, meeting him prior, and he was such a, you know, gentleman or whatever and nice to us, and it just didn't seem like that would be his nature. So it was just weird that that shadow went by and automatically his demeanor changed, drastically.
Oh yeah, then there's a shadow where it got really dark in the room too. Really, really dark. Was that when you were in there, or
I don't remember.
was that when you were in there? Wasn't it? Got really,
I think that was our first night in
Yeah,
there.
the
maybe.
first night. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we
So if
thought-
there's someone put a blanket over us or something.
Yeah,
so
it
it's
got
so
kind of dark
dark
in her room, the master bedroom.
Oh yeah, then the second night, or the second time when we went down there, we thought, well, you thought you seen or something I don't know, it was really dark again, but it was between the TV, the hallway to the TV and to the bathroom, and it was low to the ground, whatever it was.
Yeah, I thought I saw a black mess creeping across the floor past. They had a milk crate in there, and it looked like it passed.
Went around all that.
Yeah, around that and the TV and their little stereo system that they had on the floor. And it wasn't very tall either, and it was just went.
From the hallway?
Yeah.
That's how I saw it. When Tom and I were in there, it kind of it was coming from the hallway into the room.
And it just looked like maybe a 2-year-old walking or crawling into the room and just going past it. That's the height of what I saw.
Okay, you two went in for the last EVP session. What happened?
We started our EVP session out normal. Me and Felicia sat down in the room on the floor, and we started asking several questions, and all of a sudden I started to feel out of my norm. I started to feel dizzy. My head started to hurt. I was seeing a very darkness in front of my eyes, like my eyesight couldn't focus. So I immediately asked Felicia if she was feeling the same way I was, and she responded no. So I sat there for a few more, probably about 3 more minutes in the same spot. Finally I decided, well, maybe we should switch spots. Maybe she'll feel what I'm feeling in that spot. So we got up, switched spots, and the same thing. I was feeling all the symptoms again, and she was feeling nothing. And then I finally got to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore. I was just not feeling good at all. And so we walked out for the night, and I don't think you felt anything at that time.
I didn't feel anything in the bedroom, no. When we got up, called everybody back in to let things settle down, try to get her feeling better. That's when I started to feel sick. I don't know, it was just the weirdest feeling. I had to keep stepping outside, get fresh air, and I just couldn't handle being in the house. I ended up sitting on their couch for probably about an hour. Just couldn't move, dizzy, feeling sick to my stomach, and it finally went away, but it took quite a while.
Yeah.
Both investigators felt sick, and neither could explain why. After recovering for an hour, we packed up and left Holly and Jim's home. For the second time, we left exhausted and confused. We still have no explanation for what happened that night.
Hey.
The EVP's video evidence were both inconclusive. Unfortunately, after 2 partial investigations, Ally investigators could not come to a decision about the client's home or their claims. Our report on the Saginaw home will be featured on another episode. For information on this or any other investigation, or to review more of our evidence, or to request a free investigation, visit Ally Paranormal.